Picture this. You've just returned home from a lovely vacation, you've got a tan, you're excited to get back to work, only to discover that your entire property has been stolen from right under you. How could this possibly have happened? The locks have been changed. You can't even get into the house. It's a disaster. 31 homeowners in the Toronto region alone have suffered this fate. The good news is there are ways to prevent it, or at least ways to decrease the chance that it could happen to you. We're going to talk about that today. What do we mean when we say that property has been stolen from under you? When we say this, what essentially is happening is that a series of crimes have taken place by fraudsters. These fraudsters would have taken your identity through identity theft, fraud, or forgery of legal documents. But it goes even further than that. These individuals would have convinced the authorities, the security checking mechanisms in place for real estate transactions, that they are you. Things like this are going to get more complicated as technology evolves, but there's a way around it. How do you avoid this from happening? Well, look, there are subtle things you can do. The first one is one that people don't normally think of, which is getting in touch with a lawyer so they can help you search the title of your property. It's not a bad idea to have that checked on a regular basis by somebody who has access to the online database, the registry system. Second, one of the most valuable things you can do is to ensure that you stay away from what are called phishing scams. Am I talking about fishing in the lake? When I say phishing, what I'm talking about is people fishing for your information. It happens all the time. People will do this by way of a telephone call in which they promise you a reward in exchange for information, whether that be your credit card, SIN number, or other elements. It also happens online all the time. Any social media platform, you'll always find people trying to fish for information in exchange for a false reward. This is how fraudsters catch information, use that information, replicate it onto official-looking documents. Lastly, it's important that you change your passwords on a regular basis. Whether that be in your bank accounts or on your emails, it's important that you're always tracking to ensure that people can't get access to your accounts on any of these platforms. This is probably one of the most annoying elements. People don't want to update their passwords. Updating your password sounds like terrible work. Yes, it's really annoying, but trust me, it'll be far more annoying when somebody steals your property from under your nose. With respect to reporting fraud, unfortunately, you may find yourself in a circumstance where your property has in fact been stolen. I hope this doesn't happen, but if it does, the first thing you've got to do is contact the police immediately. The police can then launch an investigation and figure out exactly where these fraudsters are. The reality is, fraudsters in this context are always trying to get out of the country. It's almost always the case. Contact your local police as soon as you recognize something strange happening with respect to the property. Protecting yourself against real estate fraud comes with these preventative strategies. Look, nothing is foolproof. You want to make sure you are not being so careless that you're exposing yourself to the risk. You want to reduce that risk as much as possible. You really don't want to come back home from your vacation and not have your house anymore. See you in the next one.